Here we are at the Park in the Past site. This is the field location where we're going to actually reconstruct a Roman fort, hopefully next year. But before we can do that, we need to work out how these things are actually built. So behind me you can see the construction of phase 1, or proof of concept 1. There are lots of theories about this and how these things would have been constructed, from building them from turf to using some form of structure, as we're doing here. Criteria course, it's got to be built by soldiers. It's got to be done by basic squaddies who've got their kit on their back, throw it down, go into the landscape around us, and then build this temporary defence to say you're getting head caved in by some mad, unhappy barbarian. These Romans have moved onto his land tonight. All of this framework has been built by trees harvested from around us here. At the moment it's predominantly alder, so that's what we're using from the site. So just as they would have done, we're foraging this as we go along. So this is it's really a perfect specimen for what we're looking for. Something that's been growing straight with no competition. Very few branches at the bottom end here that have survived, so they're all rotten out. I mean, splitting this will be, for this species of wood anyway, which is older, splitting this will be easier than some of the others which are just branched all over the place. And we'll put together a couple of lengths out of this for different parts of the structure. So one cut, a couple of guys to drag it out. We can drag that back to site, to trim it down, and yeah, that's a valuable piece of wood. Manhandleable.
What we're actually trying to do here with concept 1 is evaluate not only how these things went together, but work out a sort of modus of operation, how these guys would have organised themselves into crews to make this work. One group of guys will be making the frames, others digging the post holes. Another group of guys be following along and literally filling in the gaps as soon as these frames go up.
And what we don't know is actually how many men could achieve how much in what time. And we can't even test that until we learn how to do it. And then we've got to know how to train the people. It's got to be simple, quick and effective. It's all about training, and it's not going to be too critical. It is a rough defence, isn't it?
Very much a rough defence, but a very, very strong one.
Very strong, coming together. Drop that down an inch and it'll touch. That's probably too big, this one actually. So the best way to understand what's in front of you is to look at it from the point of view of the attacker. If I'm the attacker, I'm on the outside of this defensive structure. You see a small section, but this is actually going to be a huge box, like a small playing field. Okay, so in front of me, we have the grass, but that's going to become a ditch. It's going to be 2 meters deep and approximately 2 meters wide. It's a sharp V-cut ditch. So when attacking, you first got to get down this ditch and up the other side of the ditch. As you come up the other side of the ditch, you're then faced with this rampart, this timber structure with lots of other timbers inside and soil to create a solid defence. So this is the height of our rampart. This is where the feet of the defender are, and that's behind a wattled walling system, probably in this concept anyway. And this pole shows you how high up this defence, if you like, the front of this structure is going to be. So the guy standing behind it, he comes to just about his shoulder height, whereas you can lean over and throw things and stab down on you. You can't get into this because it's soil and branches mixed together, all the sharp heads facing you, and you're always worried about falling back down into the ditch. The turf that's coming off the top of here is being saved, so the turf will then be stacked to create an extra angle. So that takes our 2 meter deep ditch 3 meters at an angle to get up here before you can even get close to these guys on the top. Slash, stab. It really is quite a successful concept.